What can we do to support decriminalization of marijuana on the federal level?
Thank you. Great question. You know, many of you may be aware that as our state legislature has legalized medical marijuana and we have dispensaries now readying to open, there is a contradiction between federal law and state law, where marijuana is still listed as a Schedule I substance on the federal controlled substances list, on par with heroin. Meanwhile, I have had a number of meetings with folks here in Hawaii, bank officials from local banks, local insurance providers, people who provide workman's comp insurance, and others who want to be able to help our community, but who are very frightened about being prosecuted by federal law enforcement for doing business with a dispensary, for example, or for allowing employees at a dispensary to open bank accounts at one of our local banks, or for these insurance companies to offer workman's comp insurance. So it's a very big concern that we and 27 other states in the country are trying to figure out how do we navigate through this. I've introduced legislation, H.R. 1227, with a Republican named Tom Garrett from Virginia. He was just recently elected in the last election. Very conservative Republican, Army veteran, former prosecutor who feels as strongly as I do that marijuana should be removed from the Schedule I of the federally controlled substances list. It should be decriminalized so that we can take away this contradiction, so we can address the cost within our communities of this law that makes, frankly, no sense, where we're turning people into criminals, ruining their lives, tearing families apart for the use or possession of a substance that has been proven time and again to be far less dangerous than alcohol. There was an article I read recently about a 30-year-long physician at San Francisco General Hospital who made a very good comment, where he said, I have not once admitted someone into my hospital because of marijuana use, complications deriving from it, but I cannot tell you how many times I've admitted people because of situations or complications coming from alcohol. So when we talk about the issue of opioid abuse, for example, this is another issue that is not often raised, but studies have recently shown that in states where medical marijuana has been legalized, the numbers in the first year alone, the numbers of opioid-related deaths, not even just abuse, but opioid-related deaths, has dropped by up to 30%. It's huge. And for every year that law is in place, they continue to see those numbers of deaths drop. There's the fiscal cost we can talk about. How our prisons here in the state of Hawaii are tremendously overcrowded. I was just here, last time I was on Kauai about a month ago, I went and visited your local prison, had a chance to walk through, talk with some of the inmates, see both the cells inside as well as the program with the huts outside. The situation is not different on many other islands. And every year the state legislature goes into session, there is a push for more money to build new prisons and to update the ones that we have. This bill seeks to address a very big contributor to our criminal justice system. As the FBI reports that every 42 seconds in this country, someone is arrested for the use or possession of marijuana. Every 42 seconds. So when we think about the 90 minutes or the 2 hours that we'll be here together tonight, how many people that is? How many people's lives are directly impacted? So we're working in a bipartisan way with this bill now to be able to try to inform people just about the reality of the situation, how completely destructive our current policy has been, and why we need to make that change.